Welcome back. Artificial intelligence reshaping the world's business landscape as AI helps boost efficiency and sparks innovation. But of course, we're worried about jobs, and critics warn a massive swell of jobs may be on the line as companies adapt to the rapidly changing technology. A projected 10.5 million American jobs could be lost to AI by 2030, which makes up roughly 6.1% of all jobs in the United States. I spoke with the CEO of Honeywell about this, Vimal Kapoor, in Davos just a couple of weeks ago, on how business should be incorporating AI. Watch.
I think in our case, it's all about making people more productive, because if less people are coming into the workforce to drive an operation of a building, of a plant, of an asset, then how are we going to solve it 10 or 15 years from now? And the method is going to be you take younger people with the lower skills, but give them the tools so that they are able to run it with the same level of sophistication which very experienced people are doing today. So for us, it's not a substitution, but it's a growth from an industrial segment standpoint.
Joining me now is Global Advisor to CEOs in Corporate America, Ram Charan. Ram, great to have you back. Welcome back.
Happy to be here.
What is your reaction to this, and how should companies and the administration be responding to AI efficiencies that will kill jobs?
Yeah. Number one, most important, the application of AI in reality is going to determine the speed with which the jobs will go. 95% of the companies in the world outside China are not yet able to properly apply the AI that creates revenue growth, that creates productivity. They are really, these all legacy companies are struggling. And there are reasons why they're not succeeding.
Well, do you believe that we are going to see a loss in white-collar jobs as a result of AI more than blue-collar?
It will be in both cases, yes. But we're missing the boat in the whole thinking. We are not going to the heart of America. I look at a company like Parker Hannifin, look at the company like the Eaton, look at the company like Rockwell. They are investing the money. They are creating those things. They are scaling up. They create America. The highest priority of America is manufacturing in every industry and technology. It has to get #1 priority. They're making investments. They're going forward. They are the suppliers to automotive industry, chemical industry, other industries. Go focus there. Don't get all these big guys, big companies talking all the time on television. No, that's not America anymore. You know, we have lights out factories in America. I've personally seen them. Nobody seems to know that.
Wow.
Personally gone and see. Today we have a company in America, Protolabs, where if Apple agreed, this is the specification of a tool, they will produce that in 1 day. We have that in America. So I am saying put a Department of Manufacturing and Technology. Create the apparency, the transparency of information. Bring people together here. This is highest priority. Reorganize the departments in Washington. Create the highest priority. Every CEO knows that has the highest priority, has to go up and take some of the other ones out and merge them.
And you said this the last time you were with me. You said the president needs an Office of Manufacturing and a Secretary of Manufacturing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the information is terrible. People don't know where the left hand is, where the right hand is. So you look at these things like Jacobs, like Parker Hannifin, like Eaton. They are supplying to auto industry, to other industries, chemical industries. They are moving and putting investments in. They have the plans. They don't make a noise. We are confused.
Yeah.
They are not making those noises.
Well, I mean, look, CEOs across business, big and small, are talking about this. I want to get your take on what's most important to them right now. What are they worried about? We have a recent survey from the Conference Board revealing that nearly half of executives find cybersecurity to be the biggest threat to business, followed by supply chain disruptions, but AI the least of their concerns, all the way down to the bottom of the list. We also understand that China is a big issue for companies today in America.
It is. We focus on manufacturing, these manufacturing companies in America and the allies. Japan has lights out factories. They have robotics. They are allies. Germany has those machine tools. We pull that together, create the group of 8, $70 trillion economy. Their concern of cybersecurity, yes, and they're going to manage that. But they have moved on the structural hyperscaling and putting the investments, as they say, damn the torpedoes, avoid the thing, put your money in, create those investments, and they're proceeding ahead. We have all that data, make it public, get the people to see it, pull them together here. That's what a department does.
What about all this spending on AI right now? I mean, Jensen Huang told me it's going to be trillions and trillions every year. Are we ever going to see a return on investment anytime soon, or are we waiting for that?
Every company, single company I have, we have very clear return cash on cash. Those are big guys, data centers, they talk all the time, but go to the people. The best example of doing it is Walmart. It took 7 years for Doug McMillon to do this. And they watch this very carefully. They brought an HR lady from Adobe. She is quintessential digital lady. So she recruited people who understand the AI. Now their new CEO of America is not a retailer. He was brought in 2 years ago, and now he's going to run retail. So we have that. It needs imagination, and absolutely it pays for itself. But what they're doing, delegating to the CDO, Chief Digital Officer, the CEO not getting into it, they're eating the whole elephant in one bite. It ain't going to work. Amazon began with 1 product. 2 products.
Wow.
3 products. So I have a number of clients across, including in China, where we do this, learn first, take 1 item. The most important item today, where you get a return, is digitize your supply chain.
Digitize the supply chain.
First thing.
So is that your advice for corporate America right now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There are only 2 areas. 1, digitize your connection with the customer, get the data, and look for revenues, just like Amazon does. And second, just digitize the supply chain. And for God's sake, get yourself involved in it, and have the person who runs it be a business person, a user, and a CDO. It's common. Go benchmark supply chain. There are a number of those companies that are doing it, and they're mid-sized companies. Focus on mid-sized companies. They are the ones who supply General Motors, supply the Ford, supply the... This is what the heart of America. They need help, but they are going on their own, and they don't talk. We are confused.
Yeah. By the way, these are also the job creators.
They are.
Okay? Mid and smaller companies are the job creators.
They are.
Yeah.
The other thing is, Maria, I'm very disappointed in Fed. I've been following them for 30 years.
You're disappointed in the Fed?
Totally. Why? They get weekly information about what's happening in each district. Guess who reads it? Nobody reads it.
Yeah.
They should be publicizing this information they get by district, by industry, how many jobs, where they are getting.
Yeah.
And they're buried somewhere. They're lousy, very poor in disseminating information.
Well, we'll see if Kevin Warsh changes things at the Federal Reserve.
I hope he changes.
In that regard. Ram, it's always a pleasure. You always give us these pearls of wisdom. Thank you.
Thank you. Delighted to be here, and thank you very much.
We so appreciate it. Ram Charan joining us.